Hi everyone. Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I just woke up at 11. Yeah, it's actually pretty good for me. Usually I wake up at like 12 or 1. I used to wake up at like 4 p.m. That's an issue. It's not an issue when the only thing I have to do is talk about the zombie apocalypse. Zombie apocalypse! Yippee! I was gonna change my room back to my normal room, but then I realized this is like the scene from The Walking Dead when he wakes up in the hospital and he's like, where's everyone? Like that kind of scene. How did he not die, by the way? Wasn't the hospital like freaking... I can't imagine a hospital wouldn't be full of zombies. Like, why specifically the one hospital that he was in wasn't full of zombies? Or like, it's been a long while since I watched The Walking Dead, but it's like he woke up and his room was like perfectly clean and empty and like fine. And like the only thing that stopped him from getting killed was there was like a bed in front of the door or something. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine. Like, there's a huge window and everything. Like, I can't imagine you would not, like, after a month after the apocalypse starts, and like especially a hospital of all places in the entire world, that's gonna have the most zombies like ever. I'm already talking a lot. Yeah, this is gonna be quite the rant, because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I do in fact have autism, and my tism, I sprinkled a little bit of tism on the zombie apocalypse. It's like my fairy dust, and I just threw it at the apocalypse, and now that's my hyperfixation, and it's a problem. I think the like actual definition of hyperfixation is like short-term interest, like short-term aggressive interest in something. But it's so bizarre because I've had a special interest in the zombie apocalypse for like years and years, like I don't know, like 8 years or something. Like it's been a long time. I think at that point it counts as a special interest. I've recently learned that there's a distinction between special interest and hyperfixation. So I think I have a zombie apocalypse special interest, not a hyperfixation. So my title is misleading, but I feel like more people know the term hyperfixation than special interest. Anyway, yeah, the Walking Dead scene is like it's bullshit, and then he goes out, like he was in a coma, and then he woke up and he was immediately better. I don't know if that's how that works, but I feel like after months and months of like laying in the same bed, okay, I have gripes about the beginning of The Walking Dead because the plot is wrong. The plot is very misleading as to what it's actually like to be in a coma. Because like when you're in a coma, you have to have a nurse come in and like just shake you around, not shake you, like move you around back and forth like every 2 hours, or you'll start getting bed sores and your skin will start ripping off. Like, and he was just in a coma for a month after the apocalypse started, and no one was there like moving him, and he was just like fine. And also your muscles would like atrophy after not using them for that long. Like, you don't use it, you lose it, you know? Like, I have gripes, and then he immediately just like stands up and fucking goes and gets a gun and then starts like shooting zombie children. What was that? What was the next scene? He starts doing that. No, that was the beginning scene, and then it did like a flashback or something. But yeah, I have gripes with the beginning of the Walking Dead because it's wrong, and it's misleading, and it's wrong. Anyway, what do I need to like, I should have made like a bullet point list of what I should talk about with the apocalypse, because it's like I have so much to talk about. Okay, what are like the main topics I have to talk about? It's like the main breakout, like I have the supplies you should get, the where you should go, how you should if you should leave immediately or not, if like all of that type of stuff. I have so much to talk about. I've literally thought about the zombie apocalypse every single day for every single hour of every single day for my entire life. So I have a lot of theories, and I have a lot of theories about it. Okay, like the number one thing is when the apocalypse first breaks out, there's like the question of whether or not you should immediately leave your house, or if you should stay in your house and start like barricading it and start, getting safe and stuff, or if you should like immediately get the heck out of there. I have two, it's very dependent on your situation. I would say mainly if you live near or around or in a city, you need to get the fuck out of there, because they're gonna bomb the city probably. Like they did that in The Last of Us, where it's like they bombed all the major cities, and that's like a very real possibility that would happen if the zombie apocalypse did happen, which it will. I'm still holding out hope, guys. I'm holding out hope. Actually, maybe not, because I'm in a wheelchair now, but you know what? I'll just like ram it into them, and I think I'll be fine. If I have a gun, oh my gosh, I love guns. I also got such an interest in guns recently. I would never own a gun. I'm not about owning guns. I strongly am of the belief that nobody should own a gun. But like, I think they're cooler when they're just like a thing that you're not allowed to own, but they exist and different types of them exist, and you can learn about the different types. I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I can just like shoot them from my wheel. I don't even need to walk. I'll just shoot zombies like space invaders. I'll just shoot them down. But yeah, that's the other thing. If you live in a city, I jump from topic to topic so freaking fast, and my mom just told me about this, and she's like, you were incredibly hard to understand. You know what else she said? I was talking to my cat from the other room, and she was like, why is there a baby crying? Why do I hear a baby crying? And I was like, I'm talking. Do I sound like a baby crying? Do I actually sound like a baby crying to you? Does my voice actually sound like a crying baby? That is so offensive. Anyway. Yeah, whether or not you should immediately leave your house, a lot of people say that you should stay in your house. And I think it heavily depends. Like if you live out in the middle of nowhere, like absolutely make your house your freaking starter base. But if you live in the city, you gotta get out of there. You gotta get out. Not even just because of the sheer volume of zombies that accumulate in cities, that they will just like be all over your house. You won't be able to get out at all to like get other resources, other food and stuff. Zombies are scary or fun. They are fun, and I like them. I like zombies, and I think zombies should be real. But yeah, like not even just to because of the sheer amount of zombies that you can't even leave your house if you're in the city, but because there's a very, very strong possibility that the cities will be bombed by the government. That is a very, very strong possibility that the Last of Us explored. So you like if you are in if you are in the city or surrounding the city, anything like that. Like, if it's not, like, a nuclear bomb, then, like, you should be relatively more fine, closer to it, but, like, the same thing goes, But if you do live in the city, if you live in Muldra, it's a lot more fun to whack zombies with a crowbar, so that's the thing. Why are you nervous? This is fun. This is good stuff. This is good news. I think the zombie apocalypse happening in the real world would make the world a lot more interesting. Like you can't be a bad person if you're being eaten by a zombie, Like I think that solves like most of the world's problems if the zombie apocalypse just like people can't just like hurt other people anymore if zombies are hurting people. Like you're too focused on not getting eaten by a zombie. It would make the world a lot more interesting, I think, because you know what, zombies are cool, and I want to hit them with a crowbar. I want to whack them with a crowbar. Speaking of crowbar, the best weapon in the zombie apocalypse, this is another like huge point of contention, you know, the best weapon to have in the zombie apocalypse. Like in Project Zomboid, it's definitely a crowbar, like 100%, but I prefer an axe, honestly. But I mean, yeah, axes are pretty good, but you would have to sharpen them very often. Crowbars are good, but they would take a lot more hits than shown in Project Zomboid to actually kill a zombie, especially considering the zombie lore, the different zombie lores, like the Last of Us, which is probably my favorite zombie lore. Like that is not gonna kill a zombie. That is not gonna do it. I'm sorry. A crowbar is not gonna kill a zombie. But yeah, I think axes are actually a really good alternative, because, well, crowbars have like a little hook on the end, but like that's all they have. They're pretty strong, but like it's not much different than beating someone with like a metal stick. And at that point, it would take a long time to kill a real human, let alone a zombie. Like, depending on the zombie lore, like the Last of Us zombies are basically like fucking superhero zombies. Like, it would take a long time to kill one zombie, and if you're getting hoarded by zombies, like that is not something you want to go through. So I think for sure axe is the way to go, but you would need to sharpen it. That's a thing, but like that's not too bad of an issue, you know. I have to make some decisions like The Walking Dead to survive. Yeah, and it's fun. It's fun. I don't know why that freaking idiot, freaking idiot main character, I don't know why he went to the city. That was a bad idea. I was so sad when the horse died. I was actually so incredibly distraught when the horse died. I had to pause the show and like take a moment. I was so, why did they just kill the horse in the show? That was so completely unnecessary. They could have just had the horse run away. They did not have to have the horse be eaten. That just made me sad. I know it's to like show how violent and like disgusting the zombies are, but like, come on. The horse did not have to die. That did not have to happen. Anyway, if you haven't seen The Walking Dead and you don't want to see a dying horse, then you just skip the freaking stupid city scene. True, it was sad. It was sad, and it made me sad. But yeah, back to beating zombies. I feel like axe is definitely the best weapon. A lot of people would think that, you know, a gun would obviously be the best weapon, but the thing with that is they're very loud, of course. In Project Zomboid, they attract a lot more zombies. They're very loud. But they also have limited uses, depending on the amount. And if you don't have like an axe with you, and you have a limited amount of ammunition, like you have limited uses of a gun as well. Not only are they loud, but they're limited use. They are very difficult to learn how to use. I suppose they're more deadly, but at the same time, there's a freaking axe. You know, you could use a freaking axe, and you could just like, you know, just the zombies' heads. Like in most zombie lore, I feel like you have to hit the head in order to actually kill the zombie. But to get a headshot with a gun is one thing, but with an axe you have much better control, as many uses as you want. It's not loud. You know, an axe is just so much better than a gun, and we don't talk about that enough. Like if you have like a huge sniper and you're just sniping zombies from a rooftop somewhere, I guess that's fine. If you have like a silencer, that's a little bit better. But like at the same time, people are sleeping on crossbows, because that's another thing. The other guy in the horrible racist person in The Last of Us had a crossbow, So, and that was a really, really good weapon. But the thing is, you can't cross-contaminate your hunting of animals with your killing of zombies. That's the thing. Because if you get zombie blood on your arrows, you cannot use those. Or even like the whole crossbow, honestly. Just for the potential of cross-contamination. Like, that is a very real thing, and it really pissed me off when the guy with the crossbow, who used the crossbow previously to kill zombies, then went and killed a deer with a crossbow, and then they ate the deer. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's a horrible idea, and they should have all gotten infected, honestly. That pissed me off. Yes, crossbows, because they're silent, they're easier to aim. They do technically have limited uses, but the thing is, you can go pick up your uses and regain your uses. Like, you use arrows, once you're done, you can just go pick up the arrows again. Like, that's the thing. And, like, it's extremely hard to find ammunition in the zombie apocalypse. So if you were to get a gun, you would have to find ammo somewhere. You'd have to make your own ammo. You'd have to become a fucking metalsmith to maintain your stash of ammo, you know? But with a crossbow, you can just go get your uses back. You could even sharpen them, like with a whetstone or something. So yes, crossbows are the number one long-range weapon. In my opinion, they're the number one long-range weapon. I do think there is a potential for issues with the axe, because of course it's a melee, like, I'm using video game terms. It's a short range weapon. Like, you have to get relatively close to the zombie in order to use it. So I would say there is a relative risk. It's a lot better than something like a pipe wrench or something, because it's like it has a handle. First of all, it has a long handle, and it's pretty much like a one hit type of situation with the axe. Like, if you're able to hit as hard as you can with the axe and like get to the center of the zombie's brain, I think that's or like even like get the zombie's head off. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the decappuccino word on YouTube, but yeah, if you were to completely sever the brain, like, that's another thing. That's like a one-hit type of situation. Actually, I don't know how many hits it takes to completely sever a head. I don't know how many hits. I've never tried, you know. I feel like you could get to, like, relatively the center of the brain. And if not, it would get stuck in the zombie's head, and then you could, like, straight up, like, just handle the zombie and then just kick him. You know, just kick him over and then take the axe out and then hit him again, you know? I think that's the best thing. But there is another potential for a short range weapon that is not not anything projectile, which is a sword. Swords are freaking awesome. Okay, first of all, swords, awesome. Use a sword because it's cool. And I feel like I'm more likely to own a sword than an axe, and I'm so serious. I'm more likely to own a sword. I'm like gonna commission a sword I'm gonna commission a real sword. Partially for preparation for the zombie apocalypse, you know. But yeah, I feel like I'm actually more likely to own a sword than an axe. But swords, they're pretty good as well. The only issue is generally swords, you hit the torso area. Generally, I feel like they don't typically aim for the head. I feel like an axe would be better because there's like the you know how axes work, you know. You swing it and it goes like that. With a sword, if you swing it and it doesn't go through, then the zombie is still coming at you, you know? That's the issue. If you were to like get a lance and just like poke that kind of version of stabbing, just like stab them with the sword. If you were to do that, I feel like that would be a little bit better, but like I feel like swords are also somehow I feel like swords are less fragile or more fragile than axes somehow, and you do need to sharpen those as well. More surface area to sharpen. I still stand by axe. I still stand by axe unless you have like a really cool katana, in which case absolutely use it because I've studied the blade. I've been studying the blade in preparation. You went to college to study fucking computers or whatever? Well, guess what? There's not gonna be computers in the zombie apocalypse. I was busy studying the blade, and there will be blades in the zombie apocalypse, so I'm gonna use those. I spent my life in a better way. I'm just saying. Anyway, what else is there to even... I have so much else to talk about, but I'm organizing it into different sections. We talked about weapons. Well, we can talk about clothing, armor. Because, you know, obviously the number one priority of the zombie apocalypse is to be a slut. Like, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm going mini skirts, fishnets, the whole shebang, you know? No one can tell me not to dress like that. That's the thing. And do you know how cool I would be if I was killing zombies dressed like that? Do you know how cool that would be? Do you know how cool that is? I think it's really cool when women are dressed promiscuously and also murdering people. And I think that's really cool, and I want to be one of them. Anyway, the real clothing situation is obviously leather is a lot harder to bite through, and I actually tested this, like with a regular hoodie, regular sweater type of cotton material, it is very easy to bite through. I tried to bite through my own hoodie to test this, and it is actually very easy to bite through. So you do not want to be wearing like a typical cotton type hoodie. Is cotton edible? I feel like it is. But anyway, you do not want to be wearing that type of material. Obviously there's like leather and that kind of stuff, which is a lot better of a potential thing. There's jeans. Jeans are pretty good. They're very easily accessible. Like, everyone has jeans, you know? Most people have jeans. Like, if you were to get like baggy jeans, like, that's your legs protected. You can't really bite through jeans. And I mean, I guess like after a lot of wear and tear, after years of the apocalypse, it'd be a lot easier to get through jeans. But like at that point it's like, just get some new jeans. But like, there's leather boots as well. Leather boots, you know, keep them on. There's crawler zombies. So get some leather boots. I have a lot of leather boots. I'm a big fan of leather boots. In fact, get heeled leather boots. Get wedged leather boots, because you can stomp on them. You can stomp on the crawlers. You can just stand on top of the crawlers while you're killing the zombies around you. It's like crawlers are overrated. You just need to step on them and then you're good. You just need to step on top of them. But yeah, obviously leather is the best. I haven't actually looked into like different materials that would be the most bite resistant. But like, speaking of my general knowledge of clothing material, leather is number one. I think latex would be like okay, because it's more of like a rubbery material. I feel like it has more give to it for it to like be able to be bit and not like actually like break through it. So latex, I feel like that would be another good one. Of course, the number one thing is like a bulletproof vest. If you can get a bulletproof vest, that's pretty good. If you're able to get like straight up military gear, then that's obviously the best. Imagine like a spacesuit in the zombie apocalypse. I'm imagining spacesuits are pretty hard to get through. I imagine, I don't know. I can't imagine they just leave spacemen in fragile little suits. Space people, space men and women and people. But yeah, I can't imagine spacesuits are very tough, are very fragile, aren't very tough. Yeah, I feel like a spacesuit would be pretty good, but I feel like, okay, bulletproof vest, number one, you need gloves. You absolutely need gloves. I definitely have like a biker helmet. That would be pretty good. That would be a pretty good protection gear. Like, I don't know why people are sleeping so hard on gear in the zombie apocalypse, because like, of course I won't be wearing it. I'll be wearing my mini skirt or my full-on Lolita cord, but like, people sleep so hard on just straight up gear. Like, I've never seen a zombie movie where they just put on like a biker helmet, a bulletproof vest, a civilian bulletproof vest, just like armor. Wear armor and you're good. Like, people sleep way too hard on straight up just wearable gear. Just put on some fucking medieval armor and you're good, man. You're good. That's supposed to like stop swords, let alone teeth. Teeth? They're just gonna break all their teeth off. And if you break all of the teeth out of the zombies, then they can't bite you, and then you're immune. And that's my game theory. People sleep way too hard on just straight up medieval armor. Like, medieval armor is making a comeback in whatever year the zombie apocalypse is gonna happen in. Medieval armor is slept on greatly. Even get some chainmail underneath that. And if you even wanted to, you could get some leather underneath that. You're invincible, baby. Get a fucking biker helmet. Oh my gosh, a biker helmet and medieval armor at the same time. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Just like rob a museum and steal some armor. But yeah, straight up biker helmet, medieval armor, you're good. You're good, man. Leather boots, you're good. Axe, you're good. I feel like handwear is the most complicated though, because you definitely need you need some leather gloves or something like that. But if you're you can potentially bite through those, especially since you're going to be using them the most. Gardening gloves are pretty good because they're like made to withstand thorns and stuff. So I feel like gardening gloves is your number one. The issue with that is, of course, it makes it harder to hold your weapon. But I mean, if you're not just getting like absolutely crowded, like piled on top of by zombies, I think you're fine. I think you'll be fine as long as you're not wearing like boxing gloves. They'd be better protection, but you would not be able to hold a weapon with that. But yeah, gear: medieval armor, biker helmet, crossbow, axe. That is all you need, baby. That is all you need, and like maybe a water canteen on you. That is all you need. Also, okay, food sources. We're going into food sources now. This is the thing. Canned food, it's not gonna get you anywhere. Canned food is very bulky. You need to constantly restock on it. You need 3 meals a day. You need proper nutrition. You're not gonna get anywhere with canned food. And I'm sorry, that is the truth. Canned food is so overrated in the zombie apocalypse. It is so heavy, and I mean, soup is good. Soup is like, that could offer you 3 meals. As long as you have like soup, canned soup, that's fine. Not canned alphabet soup. Alphabet soup is very not nutritious. If you have like canned fucking minestrone, then that's fine. But like, minestrone sounds so good. Oh, lentils! Canned lentil! Oh! That sounds so good right now. Get some feta cheese on that. Oh my gosh. Feta cheese in the apocalypse. That's probably the worst part of the zombie apocalypse is that you can't have feta cheese anymore. Is that you can't have your favorite food anymore. I don't fucking know how to make cheese. Do I look like I know how to make cheese? I don't know how to make cheese. You can't have soy sauce. You can't have like bread. I know how to make bread. Just yeast. But yeah, that's like, you can't have a lot of food. other than canned food, but canned food is not going to get you anywhere. Like, I'm telling you, you need proper nutrition. You need 3 meals a day, especially if you're going to be doing all of this work. What you really, really need is to settle down near a water source, like a river or the ocean. That is like your number one best bet, I feel like, is to settle down near a water source. Of course, everyone is going to go to water sources because there's obviously a lot of water. You can just boil the water. But the food sources are the number one thing with that, because fish is like your number one best bet, I feel like. They have a lot of nutrition. They're very there's a lot of fish, obviously. You can get a lot of fish. You have a lot of supply. Nutrition. And for 3 meals a day, I feel like fish is the best way to go. You need protein. You need all that. We need high protein and less fiber. Exactly. So fish is your number one best bet. Number 2 best bet is, I feel like, if you are able to get into a Home Depot and get some seeds, your number 2 best bet is potatoes. Get potatoes. They last forever. They basically don't go bad, especially if you're able to cool them down or get them in some type of refrigerated environment. Not that you would have a refrigerator, but if you have a generator or something like that, or even some ice, if you're able to get that, potatoes are another really good bet, because they basically don't go bad. They basically just don't. As much energy as possible, exactly. You need protein. And the omega-3s are really good in fish. Fish they are packed with omega-3s, and that is ambrosia for the apocalypse. That will make you feel alert and ready to kill some freaking zombies. You need those omega-3s, okay? Fish is absolutely the number one best food source, in my opinion. They used that in The Walking Dead. They just went fishing, but honestly, just get a fucking spear, baby. Just spear those fish. But yeah, this is the other thing. You do need to know how to fish. And of course, it's a lot more of a chance for them to get fish than it is to hunt down animals and stuff like that. But yeah, fish is absolutely the best. I think spearing fish in a river would be your best bet. So fish and chips is popular in the zombie apocalypse, exactly. Just don't fry it. Just don't fry it and you're good. But yeah, potatoes are a great, they have a lot of nutrients. They basically just don't go bad. And they're yummy. They're very yummy. That's another thing. Potatoes, I'd say your number 2 bet. I'd say number 3, possibly some spinach, some kale, something like that. We all know how good spinach is for you, but you need that iron, because if you're gonna get low on iron in the zombie apocalypse, that is not good. That is not good at all. You're gonna you need your finger dexterity, you need your strength, you need all of that. You need awareness. That's the number one thing. You cannot be tired in the zombie apocalypse. You need your awareness, greatly. So I think spinach, kale, any of those leafy greens is your next best bet, because they just have a lot of nutrients aside from the protein and all that stuff that we already took care of. I think that's probably your number 3. Maybe tied with number 3 are beans. Beans are really, really good. They have a lot of protein in them. If you can get lentils, goodness gracious, if you're able to farm lentils in the zombie apocalypse, that is really good. Lentils are extremely good. They have a lot of protein. All beans have protein. Depending on the type of bean, obviously it's gonna vary nutritionally, but lentils are really, really good. If you already have fish, I feel like at that point they're less needed, but they're still very good to have. That's your food source type of thing. Another thing is you do still need carbohydrates. You do still need them. That is part of a healthy diet. if you don't like they're quick energy and stuff like that, you know, if you're able to get bread before it molds, that's another thing, but you know, otherwise you would have to make your own bread. At that point it's like so natural carbohydrates, what the fuck, carbohydrates are probably the way to go with that, with the potatoes and stuff. That's probably like nutrition handled. That's probably like all that you need. Of course you need water and stuff like that, but you know, if you're able to get a healthy diet with some lentils, you know, if you can farm tomatoes as well, tomatoes, oh my gosh, you can make some lentil soup. Ugh. And garlic. Ugh. Delicious meal every single day of the zombie apocalypse. But yeah, number four things that you need: fish, potatoes, leafy greens, and beans. Those are like your four things. Oh, a fifth thing that is fair to mention are mushrooms, because mushrooms can grow literally anywhere. If you're able to get mushroom seeds, you could literally grow them in your own shit. You could literally grow them in human shit. You could grow mushrooms. Like, don't do that, but at the same time you could if you needed to. Mushrooms are like, they grow literally anywhere. They grow as much as you want. I would eat spinach. Ugh, I love spinach. Spinach is so good. But yeah, you do need that iron. You need that awareness, that awakeness. You need that in the zombie apocalypse. That's a really good thing to have. Mushrooms are really good. They don't have as much nutritional density as the rest of the things that I mentioned, but they're just so easy that honestly, why not have them, you know? And garlic, that's another really good thing. Get some garlic. Just because it tastes good. Just because it tastes good. It'll make you happy. Makes me happy. I like garlic. Hell yeah. I love garlic. Just have some garlic because it'll make your lentils taste good. Yeah. Anyway, that's probably it for the food source talk. I think the next thing that I really want to rant about is like the location of which you should make your base, because that's another really important type of conversation. Obviously it highly depends on where you live. Like, I'm basing this off of the US because like I live there, but like highly depending on where you live, I feel like Europe would be like relatively good if you were able to get up to places like Scotland and stuff. Scotland is actually really good. Like the British Isles, like those 3-fingered looking islands. And I also feel like Southern would be a lot better as well, because there are a lot of like Greek islands and stuff like that. If you're able to get to a Greek island, that's another really good bet, because they usually have mountains and ocean in the same place, and that's like a really good top point of conversation is that you mountains and the ocean at the same time is like peak survivability. If you can get to the British Isles, ocean, mountains. If you can get to like the west coast of the US, mountains, ocean. Another amazing thing. But if you're not there, if you're not already there, if you live in like the Midwest of the United States, another I would say your best bet is to go just straight to the huge lakes in Canada. I think that's your other best bet, because northern is definitely better. That's like absolutely one of your better bets, because of course, now this is like the number one issue that people don't talk about in any zombie apocalypse conversation, is when you go north, there aren't mosquitoes. or there are significantly less mosquitoes. If you're able to get north enough to where mosquitoes are not habitable there, that is like huge. Unless you have like constantly have like mosquito spray on you. If you're down in the south and there are mosquitoes there, they transfer blood. If they bite a zombie and then they bite you, you're a zombie. Sorry, you're a zombie now. People don't talk about how dangerous mosquitoes are in the zombie apocalypse. Or like ticks, anything like that. Anything that sucks your blood and then distributes the blood. Anything that like can give you malaria, anything like that, that can also spread the zombie virus. So if you're able to get north enough to where mosquitoes aren't habitable, but it's still warm enough to where you can grow crops, I feel like that's the best possibility. Never thought of the possibility? Yeah, I think a lot about this. I think a lot about this. But yeah, I feel like that's your best bet. Is north enough to where bugs and stuff like that, they don't live there, but still south enough to where you can grow crops, even indoors, even stuff like that. And that's like where the mushrooms come back in, because if you're up there, mushrooms, they can still grow. It literally doesn't matter. Mushrooms grow everywhere. So mushrooms, your number one thing. Fish are obviously very abundant up there. You can go ice fishing even, hell yeah. Fish are very abundant up in the huge lakes of Canada and stuff like that, and up in the British Isles. I feel like Canada and the British Isles are your best bets. That's what I feel. Like even like down in like California, like you're gonna get mosquitoes, even though like it's right next to the ocean and all that kind of stuff. Even in Greece, like there are bugs there, like the Greek islands, there are a lot of bugs there. So I feel like your number one bets are Canada, British Isles. That is your number one best bet for where you can live. Russia is obviously not a lot of water sources, not a lot of ocean access. If you don't live in like Europe or the US or Canada or anything like that, you're kind of fucking cooked, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe South Africa would be good. If you live in Australia, you're fucking done, man. You're done, you're cooked. Australia is gonna be the number one place with no humans left. If you live in like, I think like Japan and Korea, obviously, like there are bugs there. They're not as north as like the British Isles and stuff like that, but like you can't really go more north than that without crossing into some territory that you maybe don't want to be in. I feel like North Korea would be very protected from zombies, though. That's the thing. But yeah, at the same time, I don't know. I love Korean zombie movies. I think they're really cool. But if you live in like Japan, Korea, Southeast Asia, anything like that, I think your best bet is to either find an island or go or go somewhere else, get a boat or something. But yeah, Canada, a big lake, a big Canadian lake. That is like your number one best bet, I feel like. I've thought about this so much that my exact location where I live, obviously I'm not going to talk about this part, but I've thought of like the exact route that I would take in the event of the zombie apocalypse to get up to Canada. This is how much I've thought about this. This is how much I've thought about this. A lot of people would maybe think this is like a mental illness, this is like anxiety. It's not anxiety. This is pure joy. I want to clarify that this is pure joy. I don't feel anxious about the apocalypse. I feel joy when I think about these things. Yeah, planning all these like routes and stuff for the apocalypse, that is genuinely like happiness for me. That is happiness. Yeah, it's definitely not like an anxiety type of situation. I feel a lot of joy going on. My throat hurts already. I didn't talk that much. I only talked for 50 minutes straight. I've only been talking for 50 minutes straight without barely taking a single breath. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell, brother? But yeah. I've already planned my route. You guys should plan your route. I think Game Theory talked about this, like MatPat talked about this, and the best place to go in the event of a zombie apocalypse. MatPat already made a video about this, which is the number one best place to go, and that is, fuck, what was it called? Well, I literally am Canadian. What the hell? Why am I forgetting the name of this? Fucking mid-Canada. Lower population density, a lot of, stuff for that. Not a survivability stuff. You know, all of that. I think the next thing I want to talk about is zombie lore. I'm a huge fan of The Last of Us zombies. I keep mentioning The Last of Us, but The Last of Us, not only does it have the coolest zombie lore, but it has the most realistic zombie lore, because cordyceps is real. Cordyceps is a real fungus that exists in real life and really affects the brains of ants and really turns them into zombies. Zombies are real, by the way. They're just ants. Zombies are fully real. They're just ants. And if you haven't seen The Last of Us, the explanation for how the zombie virus starts is that global warming causes cordyceps to adapt to higher temperatures, and then it's able to live in the human body. Last of Us zombies are dangerous? Yeah, they're very dangerous. But yeah, zombies, they're freaking real, guys. They're real. Like, obviously cordyceps cannot live in the human body because the human body has a higher temperature to which cordyceps cannot sustain itself inside of the human body. But if it were to adapt to be able to survive in higher temperatures, then it could potentially cause a zombie apocalypse. I'm just saying. It could happen. It could happen. But yeah, I feel like people don't ever talk about, like, someone could artificially get cordyceps and then, like, breed it into, like, being able to withstand higher temperatures. Like, this could be artificially man-made. There could be someone in a lab somewhere, in their garage somewhere, turning cordyceps into something that can withstand the human body. There could be someone doing that just because. No one ever thinks about that. And it's not me, I promise. It's not me. Yeah, so the zombie apocalypse is gonna happen soon. I'm pretty excited. I have all my routes planned. I have all my routes planned out. My dog just, like, headbutted into the door. Hold on, let me see if she needs something. My doggy. She's, like, face planted in the door. Resident Evil Umbrella Corp. Exactly. Except not a corp. It could just be some guy. It could just be some guy. Anyway, let me see what my dog is headbutting into the door for. 1 second. I'm back. There are now 3 kittens in my room, and I have a trash bag with that I just got like a trash bag right next to my desk so I could put bottles in there, and now they're all in the trash bag. You can't be in there. Get out. That is not safe for kittens. Not safe. Hi, baby. Hi. Yeah, that's another thing. The only reason I don't want the zombie apocalypse to happen is because I couldn't have my kittens with me. How would I get 8 cats with me up to Canada? How would I get 8 cats up to Canada with me? Welcome back. Thank you. Can you hear them? That's so embarrassing. I can't walk. I have to have a trash bag right next to my desk so I can just... I'm actually very cleanly, okay? I have a trash bag for all of my stuff. They're wreaking havoc on that trash bag. Holy shit. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi. But if the zombie apocalypse does happen, I'm of course going to have 10 billion cats, because who's gonna tell me not to? And cats can eat fish. Cats do eat fish. Cats love fish. I could just feed cats fish. Cats are like the most sustainable thing to have in the zombie apocalypse as pets. You ever thought about that? But you haven't. I bet you haven't. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to talk for almost 4 hours. I don't even know. I just titled it because 4 seemed like a funny number. But my voice is like really hurting today, and I don't know why. I was practicing singing yesterday, but I don't know, it shouldn't be hurting this bad. But also I have therapy later, so yeah, I also have therapy later, so we will see. We will see. But let's see. What's the next topic? What's the next topic? The best store to go to as soon as the zombie apocalypse breaks out. Of course, everyone's going to be like piling into stores. So if you, obviously the best case scenario would be to work at Home Depot. If you work there, that's like the second the news breaks, you can get, first of all, they have weapons, they have axes, they have stuff like that, they have stuff to barricade, they have wood planks, they have all that kind of stuff. Kittens are losing their mind. And number one thing, they have seeds there. They have so many seeds, they have so many vegetables and stuff like that. You could get mushrooms, you could get potatoes, you could get all that stuff. So I'd say number one thing, seeds, weapon. Number 2 thing, barricades, all that stuff. Also another thing with the axe is that it literally doubles as an axe. If you use an axe as a weapon, it literally doubles. Jesus Christ, the kittens are losing their mind so hard, it's making the dogs bark. Oh my gosh, what is she do? She climbed on top of my... No! 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 Hold on. She's tearing stuff apart. Hold on. Zombie's kitten? I read that as zombie's kitten. Zombie kitten. Zombie cats. Actually, cats have an even higher internal body temperature than humans, so maybe not. Maybe not. Kittens! Zombie kittens. That would be the best thing ever. I want zombie kittens. Well, not if they eat each other, but I want zombie kittens because they're like, that's cute. They're cute. I like kittens. Yeah, I might have to do a part 2 to this because my voice is like really hurting a lot for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't talk that much. I only talked for an hour straight without breathing. I didn't talk that much. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, best store to go to in the zombie apocalypse. First thing it breaks out, obviously the best thing you could do is work at Home Depot. But if not, you know, everyone's going to be going to Home Depot. Potentially they could be infected. Potentially there could be an outbreak at the Home Depot. So number one thing you could do is work there. So you could have first come first serve to everything, and of course like less danger, and then you need to like get out of the store as fast as you can, or to like live really close to a Home Depot. But like we have literally seen this before with COVID. I can't say that. Cordyceps. We've literally seen it before. Yeah, I can't say that word. I actually can't. Home Depot run ASAP, exactly. Is the zombie apocalypse happening? There's a car alarm going on. Is it happening? And my dog, is it happening right now? That'd be so funny. Anyway. Home Depot, number one place to go to. I'd say number 2 place is like Walmart? A Walmart with a home garden section. That's the number 2 place, I'd say. Because some Walmarts have like a home garden section. Even some other stores have a home garden section with like seeds and stuff like that. I don't believe they have axes. They might have like similar types of stuff. They might be locked up. I don't know. I'd say Walmart is number 2. I don't actually know where else has seeds. Like, I mean like Home Depot or any other like home department store, stuff like that. I just know Home Depot for sure has seeds. You know, Walmart, I actually don't know where else has seeds, but anyway, a place that doesn't have seeds that might be good to go to is like Costco, purely because they have like so many shelves of food. They have so much food. I don't think there could be a sheer amount of people that flock to a Costco to like completely empty it out. And Costco has like, they have like that camping type section type of stuff. Anyway, I feel like that might be another good place to go to. Of course, if you're not like, if you have time, which obviously the best thing is to get out of there as soon as possible, but if you have time, if you don't have any of the other stores around you, and like you're like in a Costco already, like fine. If you're already there, then yeah, sure. But yeah, Costco, those are probably the best stores to go to. I don't know. What's the best car to have? You guys know those cars that are like completely silent? Like they had to like install noise machines into them when they drive because they're so completely silent. I feel like that would be the best car to have. And I think they're pretty big too. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? The ones that sound like spaceships now when they drive by? Like those huge spaceship cars. If you're able to break the sound machine, if you're able to like get under the car and like actually just break the sound machine, I feel like that'd be your best bet with a car. Gas is obviously limited. You'd have to get a generator for the gas machine, but you can't really do, I mean, unless you know how to hook up a generator to a gas machine. I feel like you won't be able to hook up a generator to a gas machine. So it's like, I don't know, gas is a very limited resource. If you siphon gas from other cars, Project Zomboid, the thing with Project Zomboid is like every single car you come across has 0% gas, which is so unrealistic. Every car you come across is gonna have some gas. Unless they're like left running before they go. But if they're just like parked in a person's driveway, they're gonna have tons of gas. Like you can just siphon gas from those, or you can just carjack them. Friendly neighborhood carjacking. Just take those cars. We do have electric vehicles, yeah. The thing with those is that you wouldn't be able to charge them, but if you have like a gas-powered one, that would be a little bit better. Other forms of transportation, of course, they're not as good because you'd have to have a car to get up to Canada. If you don't live in Canada, you'd have to have a car. But other forms of transportation are horses. Horses are pretty good. They're pretty cute. You have to feed them though. Horses are nice. I don't know, like a fucking little Tykes baby car. Or you can walk. I don't know. You can walk. Walking is always another thing. Obviously, bikes. Bikes are like an endless resource. They're the resource that keeps on giving. Yeah, bikes are another really good one. But I'd say number 1, obviously a car. Number 2, probably a horse. Number 3, bike. If you can get a car, then I think you're good. As long as there aren't like 10 billion zombies around you. If you're in a car and there's a zombie, just drive. Just drive. And you're good. Hi, Zombie. Hi, no. Hi. Welcome to my yapping stream. I've been talking for an hour straight without breathing a single time. I haven't breathed once. Hello, Princess. Hi, Kujo. Hi. Yeah, I talked for so long. I usually am fine for like 2-ish hours, but I have literally spoken nonstop for an hour straight, and now my voice hurts. My throat already hurts. Very talented, thank you. I'm like world record holder, world record breath holder. Hi, kitten. Hi. I think I already talked about a lot of stuff besides zombie apocalypse movies. I love zombie apocalypse movies. I really want to rewatch Train to Busan. That's like my favorite movie ever. Literally, I think it's actually my favorite movie. It's such a good movie. It's not only an apocalypse movie, it's not only just a good movie in general, but it's so emotional as well. Like they turned zombie apocalypse into something so emotional, and it's like usually it's not that emotional. I don't think I've ever seen an apocalypse movie that's that emotional. Even like The Last of Us, which is fairly emotional. Like it just doesn't compare to Train to Busan. I don't know. It's just a really good movie, and I'm such a big fan of it. I was like, imagine being stuck on a train in a zombie apocalypse. It's a crazy thing. But it is, and it's such a cool movie. Like, who even thinks of a train zombie apocalypse movie in which the entire movie takes place on a train? Sounds interesting. It is such a good movie. And the entire thing takes place on a train, and the entire train is full of zombies. Like, it's not like the train is just going past zombies. Like, there are zombies on the train, and the whole thing takes place on a train, and it's really good. Oh man, I want to rewatch it so bad. I want to rewatch it so bad. If I break this stream up into two, I'm gonna go watch Train to Busan right after this. But yeah, I had an appointment earlier. What the fuck? Later. I have one later. It's an amazing movie. It is such a good movie. But yeah, the entire thing takes place on a train, and it is such a good. It is so cool. It is such a cool movie. But yeah. I'd say my. I don't want to compare them because I really like The Last of Us too. My favorite zombie medias are Train to Busan and The Last of Us. I talk about The Last of Us a lot because I really like it. The Last of Us is like my favorite, I'd say, multimedia zombie franchise for sure. It's definitely my favorite. I of course I love the zombie lore. That's the other thing. I'm a big fan of the zombie lore because it's so realistic as well. Like, it can happen in real life, and I just love it. I love that they found a real explanation. The original game had a real explanation for how the zombie apocalypse is most likely to happen, and I think that is so cool. But yeah, The Last of Us, oh my gosh, and I loved the show. I loved the show so much. Like, even the first episode of the show is like, the very first thing that happens after the outbreak is a literal plane crashes into a city, like, full on, comes barreling towards the, Joel and Sarah. Like, full on comes barreling towards them. I watched a bit of The Last of Us, but I have the chronic inability to sit down and watch a show without taking months between watching each episode. That is so true. I feel like I either do that or I watch it all in one sitting. There is no in between. There's absolutely no in between. I either watch one episode per 10 months or I watch the whole thing in one night. There's no in between at all. But yeah, The Last of Us is such a good show. Like, the first episode was just so jarring and shocking and so visually beautiful. Like, the image of a plane barreling towards you and crashing. You truly are my spirit animal. This is true. I am an animal and I am also a spirit. Woo! I'm a spirit that only awakens when the zombie apocalypse occurs. Oh, you know another topic? What's the best thing to have in a zombie apocalypse preparation kit? Like a zombie prepper. I'm not a zombie prepper at all. It's like, you would probably assume that I'm so, like, I know so much about the apocalypse due to anxiety, but this brings me so much joy. There is nothing more joyous to me than preparing for the apocalypse. There's nothing more joyous to me. The first episode was great. It was so good. But yeah. Yeah, zombie preparation kit. What is the best thing to have in there? Obviously, like, medical supplies. Like, if you can get, like, antiseptic wipes, like, all that type of stuff. Antiseptic, what the fuck? Sanitizing. Antiseptic. Sanitizing. Antiseptic, sanitizing... Fucking, what are they called? Antibiotic wipes. What the hell? the antibiotic wipes. You know what I'm talking about. If you can get those type of wipes, that's obviously a really good thing to have. Not specifically for the zombie infection, but like, you know, just in general for medical care, you need all that stuff. It's like the #1 killer before penicillin was invented, you know. Get some penicillin. Painkillers. Painkillers are a really good thing. They have them in Zomboid, and it's like, but people don't really talk about how important they would be in the zombie apocalypse, because if you're in pain and you can't move a certain part of your body, that's an issue. Like, you need painkillers. You need 10,000 ibuprofen. If you can't move your hands because they hurt too bad, and then you can't swing an axe and then you die from a zombie, that's an issue. It is an issue if you die from a zombie. So, you need a lot of painkillers. You need 10 billion ibuprofen, all at once. Me when I take 10 million 500 ibuprofen. But yeah, zombie preparation kit. I'd say another thing to have in there is an axe, because we talked about how that's the best weapon to have in the event of an apocalypse is an axe. But I think a crowbar, if you don't have an axe, a crowbar is another good thing. I think a crowbar is also just good to have in general. Like, if you have an axe, you could also have a crowbar on you, like a tinier crowbar or something. It's good for smashing windows. It's good for prying open doors and stuff like that. Like, crowbars are still really useful, even if they're not the best weapon, I'd say. I still think you should have a crowbar with you. Man, I couldn't brave going outside during the zombie apocalypse. My preparation would just be stocking up on canned food and water and never ever leaving my house until I eventually run out and die. I talked about the best food to have during an apocalypse, and it is not canned food. Canned food is not gonna get you many places. You need a lot more than canned food. But yeah, if you're able, like, if you have a car in your garage, like, I'd say it's fine. Just if you live in a city and you need to get out of there, or like around in the surrounding area of a city, not just because of the density of the population, the potential of more zombies showing up, but because the government is extremely likely to just bomb the city, like bomb all of the major cities. So if you live in a major city or around a major city, then it is like extremely important to get out of there as fast as possible. Because it is extremely likely that they will just bomb the major cities, because obviously that is the best chance at getting rid of the apocalypse. If it gets to that point, is to just like bomb it all. Just get rid of it all. Just get rid of all of it. I can't drive? Yes, you can. In the apocalypse, you can. Well, you think you need a license to drive in the apocalypse? Hell no. You can drive. You can drive, I promise. You don't need a license to drive in the apocalypse. You just gotta get out of there. Yeah, I also can't drive, but you know what? in the event of an apocalypse, I can drive. But yeah, we also talked about the best type of car to have is the silent cars, the spaceship sounding ones, and just like break the sound machine that they have to legally put into the cars. Just break that sound machine, and then you have a completely silent car, like 100% silent car. Yeah, go up to Canada. Not too north to where you can't grow plants, but not too south to where bugs are there. Good point. I still think I would be highly likely to drive myself into a wall. Would be better end than zombies, though. Exactly. And like, if you're in a car, I think you're fine. Like, genuinely, you don't need to drive on roads. If you have like a car that is able to drive through field and grass, like, you don't need to drive on roads. I can't believe, and I'm like so sure that most people would stay on roads in the apocalypse, and then there would just be like a bunch of traffic, and then they'd be stuck in traffic, and it'd be like, oh no. But like, genuinely, just don't drive on a road. Like, you don't need to follow roads. You really don't. Other possibility is like a horse or something. That's like number 2 mode of transportation is some type of horse, some type of animal like that. You do need to feed them, though. That's a very important thing to consider, is that you do need to feed horses. Get some apples and carrots. I don't know what horses eat. Hay. Get some hay. Yeah. I don't know how to grow hay. Yeah, you would have to feed your horse. That's the thing. But yeah, get away. Get far, far away. I'd say go to Manitoba. Manitoba in Canada. Your tires would break real quick if you take a normal car on all-terrain. But if you have an all-terrain car, I'd say you don't need to drive on a road. But if it's like a field, normal cars can sustain a field, like, to the point that just to get you out of there, they can sustain on a field, I would say. As long as you're not like driving through a wooded forest, I think you're fine. I think you're fine, honestly. But yeah, if you do end up stuck in traffic, which is a very real possibility, a horse. Horses are very not accessible, I would say. There are a lot of horses where I live, actually, but I mean, you could just take someone's horse, but I imagine they would take it first, so I don't know what to do about that. Number 3 is bikes. You can't really bike through a forest, so walk. And there you go. and walk all the way to Canada and have fun. Have fun, everyone just walk up to Canada or walk up to Scotland. Just start walking. Go on. Yeah, walk through the ocean to Scotland. To Scotland. Or to South Africa. I imagine South Africa is relatively similar. Cause like the South Pole, like it's closer to Antarctica. I imagine there's pretty heavy winters there, I would imagine. I don't actually know. Have fun. Yeah, everyone have fun. Walk down to South Africa, Scotland, or Manitoba, Canada. Yeah, get walking. Or like, what is at the bottom of South America? Peru? Chile? Yeah, go down there. Yeah, just get down there. Just start walking. But like, if you live in Australia, you're fucking cooked. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to break the news to you. But if you live in Australia, you're cooked, man. You're cooked. You're not getting out of there. Yeah, I feel like Australia, out of any place, would be the number 1 place to succumb to zombies. First of anything. And on the coast, maybe I'll just start living on a boat. That's another very real possibility, because the number 1 food source you should be focusing on is fish. If you can get livestock, that's another good thing, obviously, but it's very hard to maintain just on your own. If you're living in like a small community type of thing, then obviously if you build up a community base, but you know, I'd say live on your own. You can't trust people. What if they get turned into a zombie? What if they get bit and then they just don't tell anyone because they're selfish, because everyone is selfish and they don't want to get executed by the community, and then they turn into a zombie and then everyone turns into a zombie, and then what happens? Then what happens, huh? Then what happens? Yeah, I'd say live on your own. Like, no community. Don't bring people with you unless you really, really trust them. I happen to be allergic to fish. Oh shit. Fuck. Beans. Beans are really important for you. Beans are your number 1 best bet, I'd say, because of the protein. They have a lot of stuff. Lentils are like number one survivability possibility for you, I'd say. I'd say lentils, other beans, potatoes, stuff like that. You need your protein from vegetables is, I'd say, your best bet of getting protein. Livestock is another thing. You could obviously go hunting in the forest. I'd say smaller animals, like trapping smaller animals like squirrels. Like, we don't think about eating squirrels a lot, but they are food. You can eat them. If you need them to survive, you can eat a squirrel. Just don't get a disease or anything. Yeah. If you can get like chickens, anything like that. I know wild chickens exist, so yeah, just like get a lead and build a fence with 4 wooden planks and 2 sticks, and build a lot of fences, and then get a lead, and then put them into the coop, and then feed them both seeds so that they can reproduce and make more chickens. Got it? Squirrel diet, here I come. Exactly. Well, you know, first I said beans, but if you want to eat the squirrels, then okay. Yeah, you can eat the squirrels. Man, fish is such a unfortunate thing to be allergic to in the apocalypse, because they have so many like omega-3s and protein and stuff like that, which is gonna like really energize you during the apocalypse. It's gonna really keep your brain focused. So that's really unfortunate. What other things have omega-3s actually? I don't know. Let me look it up. Foods with omega-3. Okay, so only fish. Good to know. Chia seeds, flaxseed, walnut, edamame, eggs. Oh no, that's fortified. Never mind. Not eggs. But yeah, chicken farming and eggs is another possibility. I forgot about eggs. You don't actually need to refrigerate eggs if you do live in the US. That's actually the only thing. The US is the only place that you refrigerate eggs. Like, in Greece, just leave the eggs on the counter. Like, what the hell? Why do people refrigerate eggs here? But anyway. Yeah, if you get a normal ass chicken with normal ass eggs, then you don't need to refrigerate them. I know I'm cursed. Gosh darn, apocalypse doesn't want to keep me alive. Very uncharacteristic. You can stay alive. You just need beans. Beans. I do not fault children these days for liking, like, what the fuck, tongue sahur, like, whatever, because my generation just right around saying beans. Like, is that better? Genuinely, is that any better? What is better about beans compared to tongue sahur? Beans. Yeah, eat a lot of beans. They will make you shit though, that's a thing. Fiber. You need low fiber. Probably need a low fiber diet, but okay, you will shit a lot. Well, beans make me shit. I don't know. Oh, you know the first place I'm going? If, you know, the first place I'm going if the apocalypse happens and I don't have to pay for anything anymore is Daiso. I'm going straight to Daiso, baby. I'm getting all the plushies and the Hello Kitty stickers and, oh my gosh. I went to Daiso recently and I got these watermelon gummies. Oh, they're so good. Suika gummy. Suika. It's so interesting living in America and going to a Daiso because they use yen. Like, I was so shocked to find out that they use yen instead of USD. They didn't do the currency conversion. I mean, I guess they are like imported straight from Japan, but I am shocked that they don't like at least put the like price labels with the little price labeler. Every generation the humor gets more nonsensical. I love it. That's wild. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a meme that was like the generation's humor. Like, boomer humor is like, I hate my wife. Millennial humor is I hate my life. Gen Z humor is brains. Gen Alpha humor is skibbity toilet tongue sahur. You know, stuff like that. Actually, no, like, Gen X baby boomer was like Looney Tunes, and Looney Tunes is pretty nonsensical. I'd say it's more sensical than fucking skibbity toilet, but I'd say it's pretty nonsensical. It's a little different. I put a Suika gummy in my mouth. Suika gummy! It's so cool going into a Daiso and being able to understand English, because some of the things, I think, even though they're imported straight from Japan, I don't think they translate them. Well, they do translate them, but other things they do translate because they know that product is specifically going to America. And it's really funny because some things in there are like so mistranslated. Like, I saw an item and it was literally just called food. Just food. And it was a keychain. It was not food. We self-referentiated ourselves until there wasn't anything else left to self-reference. Exactly. What was my humor? It was like, I was an orchestra kid, so I had like Rush E. I too wish to eat food. It wasn't food, it was a keychain. It was like a fruit keychain, but like still, it was literally just food. Like, it was it didn't say fruit keychain, it didn't say keychain, it didn't say the type of fruit, it said food. I love that. But it's also fun, like going to Daiso and being able to read Japanese. That's a really fun experience. Because some things are translated, but most things are just like straight up in Japanese with yen, like straight up. Still want to eat that? You want to eat the metal keychain? Good luck. Strengthening your teeth so that when you become a zombie, you can eat more people. Gotta train your teeth early, so that they're prepared and in preparation for sorry, I'm bouncing a little bit and I'm distracting myself so hard because my boobs are like really jiggly. My lack of breast tissue is really jiggly. I think I put the when I was making my V-Raid model, I think I put the slider, the boob size slider, to absolute 0, and then I put the boob jiggliness, the boob physics to the absolute highest. Yeah, I think I did that when I was making my V-Raid model. I'm just heading my Bets the Zombie. Life seems like the way to be. I mean, yeah, in order to get there, you do have to be mauled, but I mean, once you're there, I mean, sure, you might be rotting from the inside out, but it seems pretty nice. I wonder if zombies are conscious, or if they're like, I know they're not in their mind, but are they still in there and they're just not in control of their actions? Or are they like completely taken over? I feel like with cordyceps at the beginning, you would be slightly conscious, which would suck if you were to like eat your family. Just eat your entire family. What a combo! I know. I put the boob slider to as tiny as it could go, and then I put the boob jiggliness to as high as it can go. And I'm just like, every time I do this, my chest just like vibrates, and it's really funny. There's absolutely nothing to be vibrating, but it is. So I'm like mesmerized. Anyway. Probably depends on the type of zombie. Maybe my mycelical kind would be that at the start. The Risen Dead might not though. Yeah, I think the Risen Dead is very much like you're dead, you're fully dead, and then your body gets taken over by something that is non-human. That's very much what the Risen Dead would be. But like the fungal type of infection, like with cordyceps or anything like that, I feel like as it slowly takes over your brain, it would first, like how it works with the ants specifically, in which the cordyceps virus does really exist. It takes over their motor control first. So it takes over their motor control, and then it causes them to become violent. But they're still technically conscious, like their empathy and their like vision, sight, all of that type of stuff, hearing is like fully intact as well. So like I feel like it would suck to be one of the first infected, because at that point, if you're infected and you're like and you're eating your family and you're still in there, that is like that is horrifying. If you're still a human person with a human conscience and you just like are completely not in control of your actions, that is horrifying. And it makes it so much more terrifying. Yeah, if you're the one to eat your family, that is horrible. And then you're still in there and you just have to watch. You're just in the passenger seat watching as it happens. That is horrifying. That is very horrifying. That's why you gotta be one of the last ones. I feel like as it goes on though, like the lore with the Last of Us is like after 20 years the cordyceps stops having human tissue to feed on. So then the zombies die after like 20-ish years of that. So eventually cordyceps, if it was cordyceps instead of something else, eventually the zombie apocalypse would die out and humanity would come back, and it would kind of be like this post-apocalyptic society with like mixed technology and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I think post-apocalyptic media is really cool because it has like this mixed technology aspect, or it's like even in ZZZ, like Zenless Zone Zero, it's like a vintage aesthetic with like this AI advanced technology type of thing, and like really mixed technology. Like there's still arcades and like arcade machines, stuff like that, but then you also have like this super futuristic AI type of thing. I think that's really cool. But yeah, eventually after like 20-ish, not 20, but after like a while, the zombies would eventually die out. Kind of unrelated, kind of not, but my comfort video to fall asleep to is hours-long Project Zomboid videos with scavenging farming, ideally while it rains in game. That is so true. I love Zomboid. I love Zomboid so much. That is so real. I love Zomboid scavenging and stuff like that. Like the zombie killing, like the intense zombie killing is one thing, but like if you're able to settle down in a little base and start yourself a farm and get some fishing going and all that kind of stuff, it's like it's a really comfy game. And like that's what I imagine the real apocalypse would be, if you're able to get up to a very low population density area and just like clear it out and make your own little cabin. It would kind of be like a comforty Stardew Valley video game, but like with an apocalyptic undertone, which is really cute. I feel like it's a really cute little potential. But like no more rules, no more laws. You just kind of live as your own type of thing. Like I feel like a lot of people consider what it would be like to be an early human, you know, just like a base human without any societal expectations or laws or anything like that. And I feel like part of the appeal of the zombie apocalypse to me is that you can do that in a modern setting. You are able to just like be your own person with no expectations, no rules, no anything like that, and you can just exist as a base human, like the animal that you're meant to be, that kind of stuff. For real, my favorite thing is making Dangerous World safe in games. Exactly. Like, I spend hours just clearing out the deep dark in Minecraft so I can live in it. I spend hours clearing out ancient cities. I can just live in them. But yeah, that's kind of part of the appeal. And there's a little bit of a peace aspect about it, which is like sure, there's a lot of destruction and stuff like that, but eventually once the cities start to break down and like, you know, all these buildings that humans cut down trees for and all this landscaping that, you know, we're not letting grow, like all that eventually starts to be reclaimed by nature, and eventually it all just becomes like the earth again. And I feel like that's another peaceful aspect of the zombie apocalypse. Like after years and years and years, like that's another really sweet thing. That's why I really like the aesthetic of The Last of Us, because it has like these huge buildings that are just like toppled over and filled with vines and trees and wildlife and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool. That's wild. I never lived in the deep dark. It's a really cool place. It even has like a little underground area where if you like activate a redstone thing in the deep dark, it opens up to a little underground area, and it has like a lot of little farms down there. It's a really cute place to live if you just like clear out all the skulk. Yeah, you just have to like break all of the spawners, and then you're good. It's really easy to clear out actually if you just like the spawners are usually spaced out far enough apart to where you can break them without spawning a warden. But like the second you do, just like fly away for a minute. It's really nice to clear it out. I've cleared it out like twice. It's a little ancient city. I feel like it would be so cool to make like a little ancient underground ruin type thing. With like that kind of stuff, like an ancient civilization, underground civilization. I'm such a nerd for like when people make Minecraft civilizations and give them lore. I'm such a fucking nerd. I'm such a nerd. I was gonna stream Minecraft yesterday, but I might stream it tomorrow because I really want to continue on my Minecraft world. And I also need to show like my huge end gate that I built. And I want to make like a really, I wonder maybe if I don't stream it, because I feel like with streaming I'm a lot better with like shorter term Zatsu type of, like shorter Zatsu type streams. But if I just record it and upload it to my channel of like a normal video of me, of just like a time lapse of me building, would you guys like that? That's surprising but makes sense. Yeah, if I just like worked on my hardcore world and I just like made it a nice little hardcore world and did like a comfy type video type situation with that, because I'm sure I'll stream a little bit of it, but like you notice that I only stream for like 1 or 2 hours at a time, because it's like I have a lot of energy and then I just expend it all at the same time. I'm just like yap, and then I'm too tired to keep streaming. I have a lot of an issue. And then I watch other streamers like Uki, and he's just like silent for 80% of the time, and it's so comfy, and he's just like, yeah, hi Chad. I had ube. It was nice. And then I'm over here like bah, 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 bah. That might be fun, yeah. I was also considering doing like what I've been watching a lot of Minecraft videos recently, like a lot of the challenges, but like there are different hardcore worlds. I just want to like build a lot of my hardcore world, like building all those farms and stuff. I think it would be fun to just upload normal Minecraft videos normally instead of streaming them, because with streams I like to really focus on the current entertainment value. I don't really focus on it. I just naturally do. I just naturally yap until I physically can't speak anymore because my throat hurts too bad. I just talk and talk and talk. It's a skill. It's honestly it's a natural born skill. I like the Gocha Yapatron 9000. I see a lot of people that are like, like apparently it's hard for some people to be like, and then I also do this thing where I'm like, I lose my train of thought and I'm like, I also see a lot of people that are like, the #1 hardest thing about streaming is learning how to be able to talk to yourself. And that's like, I'm good. I'm good at that, baby. I tend to like short streams personally. I don't have a lot of stamina for stream watching since I tend to be very engaged with videos. I just relax and watch long form most of the time. Yeah, that's another very true thing for me, because when I watch streams, I used to do this, I don't really do it as much, where like literally every 5 seconds I get bored, I need to pause the video I'm watching, go do something else, come back, watch the video, 5 more minutes, I'm bored, go do something else. Like that's completely how I function. So I just can't watch streams personally, because it's like I miss 90% of the stream because you can't really pause streams as a thing. So I watch a lot of VODs in the background when I do stuff, but I'm not really an active, engaged chatter, I would say, in other chats. I'm more of like a VOD watcher, where I just like, I pause it, I go pet my cat, I come back, I play it, I pause it, go pet my cat. Like, I'm very bad at sitting still and just like engaging in something. If it's not like, I need to have like I have like two separate things on my computer at once to keep me engaged in something, and it's very interesting because it's like when I'm playing like a game and then on the side I have a video or something like that. It's like it's a lot of stimulation and I'm very engaged and I can do it for hours at a time. And then like I go outside and then I can sit there just with my thoughts for like 4 hours straight. ADHD? I actually have not been diagnosed with ADHD. And that's like the only symptom I have of ADHD besides like the extremely high energy and the extremely poor focus and the complete lack of self discipline and the okay, maybe I need to talk to my therapist. Maybe I need to talk to my therapist. Like the complete lack of self discipline, the procrastination, what is it called? Functioning, like decreased functioning. Like what is it called when you just like even fun things? It's like you know you should be doing them, so you don't want to do them anymore. If I watch more streamers, it would feel like a burden more than fun because I can't help but stay in chat. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Executive function, yeah. I struggle with that a lot. Yeah, executive dysfunction. I am executively dysfunctioning. Yeah, I have a lot of issue with, and it's very interesting that I became a streamer. Despite that, because I'm usually much more of like a regular YouTube video watcher, but I feel like I wouldn't be as good at like making videos as I am at just like sitting here and talking. Like I'm very good at that. There's very like some people are very good at like YouTube videos and not very good at streaming. Like I've seen like people make videos that are like I tried to be a streamer for a week and it didn't work, and it's like they were just like not very good at streaming. They just didn't have anything to say. They couldn't think of anything to say. They couldn't really keep a conversation with chat. And then there's the complete opposite end, which I'm on, where it's like I just talk and talk and talk, but I don't feel like I would be very good at like writing down a script and then making a video, editing a video, making the video funny, pre-planning my jokes. Like I don't feel like I'd be very good at that. I'm very much an in-the-moment type of person. Oh my god, I almost... You know when you swallow water too much and then it like... and then it hurts? Different personalities, different ways of communicating. You're definitely a good streamer with your yaptastic nature, yeah. It's very much it's just a different skill sets, you know? Very different skill sets, like... It's one thing to like plan out your jokes, plan out your video, like maybe even do a script, record your video, know which parts are good to put into your video, edit the video, make it funny in editing, and then post it. Like that's one thing, and then it's another thing to just sit here and fucking talk. Like obviously one of them has a lot more effort than the other one. Like the actual videos are a lot more effort than just like sitting here and talking. But like I feel like I actually want to do videos as well, even though I don't feel like I would be as engaging at like actual videos, because it's like I'm not very good at that. But I feel like just like doing a time lapse of like gameplay or something like that, and just like making a comfy type of thing. Honestly, I could just like put a fucking time lapse in the background, like, you know, Subway Surfers in the background, and then talk, and then maybe people would be more engaged. I should put Subway Surfers gameplay in the back while I talk. I need to keep people engaged. I need to keep up with the new generation, you know. I need to keep up with the new hype, the new kids these days. Anyway, it'd be fun to try at least, yeah. Definitely we'll probably try something like that. I think it'd be something a little fun to do. But anyway. My throat hurts a lot. I swear I didn't talk that much. I've talked more before. But anyway. Of course I can watch videos without Subway servers. Exactly. But yeah, I swear I didn't talk that much, but my throat really hurts and I also have an appointment later. So I'll probably cut this stream into two separate streams. Whoa. The title was a lie. Not 4 hours straight, 2 hours, and then another separate 2 hours in which I talk again. But yeah, I just woke up from a nap, like the second I started stream, so I was really tired anyway. I have been really struggling to sleep recently, because of the pain. Like last night I had a brace on, 3 separate heating pads, lidocaine patches, CBD cream, fucking a TENS unit, fucking I had my surgical pillow to get my legs elevated. I had everything on my body and I still couldn't sleep until like 3 a.m. and I was really tired. Brush your voice on, Chi. I will. I also have other stuff to record later, so I really should rest my voice. I'm also gonna have to talk for another hour because I have therapy, so yeah, I really should be resting my voice. I have something to record. I have to record something, so ipigochi. I'm very sleepy. I didn't sleep until like 3 a.m. because it's just very difficult to get to sleep. And I'm still fucking talking. I'm still talking. Why am I still talking? I need to go. I need to go. Do you see how difficult it is for me to stop talking? My mouth opens and words just fall out. It's just like a opening up a gusher. You said sounds rough. Yeah, it's been very painful recently. But I need to get treated. I honestly wasn't even gonna come back to streaming until I got treated, but like at this point it's like it's never gonna fucking happen, so I might as fucking well. I might as well come back at this point. But anyway, yeah. I will schedule another stream for tomorrow. I don't know if I want to do part 2 to this or Minecraft or both. Tomorrow, but we will see. And you will see inside of my belly. And I will go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. This has been your daily dose of Gucci. I'm eating my White Boy of the Year shirt. Shit, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you. This has been your daily dose of Gucci. I hope you feel satiated and satisfied. I hope you're all happy with the amount of Gucci you've received today. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye. Now get in my belly. Oh, I'm sad. Get in my belly. Get in there. Go, get in there. Ah.